hey, Kajun Roots Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it.
I say, this is Johnny's place, where you can have it for no problem. I got the dollars.
Fixed income, no credit, back credit. Here at Kajun Roots Reseller, that's no problem.
Let him have it.
I've got my dollars and I sent in my best offer.
We say, yes. See the special man. The easiest man on YouTube.
You got the dollars? We got the offer? Let him have it with no problem.
Hello, and good morning on this Taco Tuesday, and it's Valentine's Day, Pala Day, Gala Day, however you want to call it. First in the chat today is Anna Marie. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Purple Winks. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Mark. Hello, good morning and welcome. Denise. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? And there's Tommy, the Bargain Effects. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Vintage Memories. Hello, good morning and welcome. Nora. Hello, good morning and welcome. And there's our feature channel of the week, I Spy Queen Anitra. She'll be right back. She's doing her drop-offs. That's an everyday morning affairs. Well, you be careful. Good to have you in here. And then let's see, everybody's chit-chatting with each other. There's Jennifer. Hello, good morning and welcome, Jennifer. How are you doing? Good to see you. Angie. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Mark. Hello, good morning and welcome. And good to see all of y'all. And there's Stacy. Hello, good morning and welcome. And how y'all doing? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the calendar real quick. Don't forget at 5:30 Monday through Friday, and I'll go ahead and start at the morning. You have Auntie Mama's Kitchen that goes live every morning at 5:30 Monday through Friday, and Saturdays at 6:30. Unless she's off of that for that day, she'll go on at 6:30. And then you have Larry at Ella Stash going live at 6:30 every morning, Monday through Friday. And then you have Adventures with Victoria at 7:30 every day, Monday through Friday, during the week. And then I go on at 8:30. Here we are. And then, of course, at 9 o'clock is a Silver Hair Stacker Todd. At 9:45, you have Jabby's Laughing and Listing. And then at 10 o'clock, you have Ella with her Save Here First variety show auction. Then Stacy May Catitudes goes live at 10 as well. That's 7 days a week. And then you also have the Booty Chick Rita. She goes live every morning at 10 o'clock, and that is her daily devotions. Then at 11 o'clock, you have Leslie's Lucky Find. And today, if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to be her first single solo sale on her channel, but I think she did that last week. Then you have 11:30, Jackass Retro goes live 7 days a week. If you like ephemera, anything that has to do with packing, shipping, and selling, and all that good stuff, check them out. And then at 12 o'clock, you have Dawn from Two Hip Chicks with Mary. And that's every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 o'clock noon. And then at 6 o'clock, you have Kathy's Corners Bingo. At 6:30, you have Janine's with her New England Thrifters Helen auction. At 6:45, you have I Spy Queen Anitra going live with her auction. And then at 8 o'clock is Caucasian Sasquatch goes live at 8. Rat Chat goes live at 8. Vintage Jewels, Gems, and Pearls, Margie goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to end the night at midnight is Steph Sells Stuff by the Seashore. If I missed you or did not call your name and you have something going on, don't forget to go down to the community tab. The second post as of this week, as of today, it is the second post. It is the link to the public calendar. You're more than welcome to go out and check it out and see if you have a show and you have a special name for it in a time. Let me know by making a comment with that post, and I'll be glad to add you to the calendar. And I had a few people call and cancel and tell me changes and things like that, and it's already updated as of this morning. Did I miss somebody? Virtual Shopkeeper Didi. Hello, good morning and welcome. And Bama Pickin. What's up, John? Good morning, hello, and welcome. All right, so as y'all know, last Tuesday was our first time we started this, and then on Thursdays we started last week. So if you have any Q&A questions and answers with having to do with eBay, today is all about eBay. And so we'll have a special show every Tuesday. Then don't forget, every Thursday is Q&A all about Poshmark, and that's with Glamour's Closet. But today we got Susie. Hello, good morning, and welcome. We got our guest today who's with us every Tuesday. None other than the Tommy, the 2.0, the Bargain Effects.
Hey, good morning. All ready to talk about Amazon.
That's right. You ready to
wrong
talk
show?
about Amazon now?
This is the wrong show. I got to go.
Did I say Amazon?
No, I don't
Okay,
even do it.
wait, what did I say? You threw me off there for a minute. What's up, Patrick? He's at work. We know it's a working Patrick this morning. So, Tommy, tell everybody a little bit about what you got going on and what you got going on with your channel. And let me switch. There you go.
There we go. Oh, you remember Johnny. All right.
Yes, I did.
Okay, my channel, I'm going to start dropping videos after March 21st. I'm getting a whole lineup of videos so I can release them in a regular, normal concession. So get subscribed. It's going to be pretty much all eBay and some of what we do on the decal side, but it's going to be the eBay part of the decal side. If people are interested in actually checking out what we do with the decals, let us know, because Des is thinking about running something on that. But otherwise, it's going to be all eBay all the time. We start in a store from the ground up so people can follow through and just from 0 items to how you can progress in eBay, whether you want to progress as a hobby seller, you just want to get stuff out of your closet, or you want to become a full-time reseller. And when I say full-time, I mean full-time, not this is all I do, so I'm full-time, but I work 12 hours a week. I mean, a full-time job of reselling.
Right. And I also want to say hello to Scarlett, just came in. And I also see Michael. Where did he go? Michael. There he is, right out. Michael. Hello, good morning, and welcome, sir. So today, if y'all missed last Tuesday, we started last Tuesday, where it's all Q&A about eBay. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to continue where we were from last Tuesday. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. All questions are good questions, so don't feel like you got a question that's not stupid, because you just never know that maybe somebody else is in the chat listening, working, and lurking, and they may hear your question. Say, "Oh wait, I was thinking about that." So yeah, don't be afraid to ask questions. But I'm going to start the questions off today with something that we didn't talk about last week. So we're trying to keep things going on an ongoing basis when it comes to, because there's so much to learn, especially when you're just starting out and you're thinking about doing a store. I get a lot of questions or statements that I haven't started yet, and everybody knows that's my favorite word. When I hear that word "yet," I love it. You know, it means you're thinking about it. So
that means it's just waiting to happen. It's just waiting to happen.
When it's going to happen, we don't know, but you know what? We're here to support you in any way we can. So what I want to do is I want to start off with a question that somebody may not know about, and it's something that we all tend to, I guess, worry about it when it happens.
Okay.
And that has to do with that big old word of Vero. What's that Vero all about?
The Vero, for people that are familiar with Vero, Vero is a list usually of companies like Velcro, Nike, you know, a lot of your big major companies, some companies that you never heard of, that restrict you either from selling their products on eBay or selling, more commonly, new products on eBay. You're not affected by Vero as much if you're selling a used product than if you're doing retail arbitrage and selling new products. But I'm not really sure how to explain the Vero list. You can look up the Vero list. I don't have a link for it. If you have a questionable item, to see if the particular company is on the eBay Vero list. Because if you do get Veroed, your item will get taken down. You'll get a ding on your account and a warning. I think it's just a warning the first time. They kind of just slap you, tell you don't sell this product no more. They put a claim against you. And the next time you can get like a 3-day suspension. Third time's like a 30, and then the fourth, your account's just gone. And I'm not sure if that, maybe you know, Johnny, if that is in like your eBay lifetime, or is that on some type of rotating calendar?
Rotating calendar on so many days within each other.
Okay.
And everyone is a 90-day. In other words, you like for your first count, it's within 90 days.
Okay.
If you don't get another one within 90 days, and you do get another one, but if it's something, now usually it's the same category. Like, for example, say you got a mug, one of these drinking cups.
Right.
You get a Vero for this. You can get another Vero on, say, a sterling silver piece, because that is two different categories, two different things. That's okay. It won't hurt you that much. It's if you get another one for that same topic or that same category, then you're going to look at within 90 days. You want to make sure they're not within 90 days. So the best thing is to try not to get any at all. And the biggest thing that people say, like I see a lot on YouTube, oh, you can't say that word Velcro. Well, on YouTube, you can say it all you want.
Right.
It's in a listing, you can't use it in your listing. Like you have to use hook and loop or adjustable and things like that. So there's ways you can get around it. But also you can get a Vero when it comes to, for example, you get something that's a Disney item and you list it and you sell it overseas. Certain countries that also know, like knives, certain objects, certain things from different companies, you can't sell on overseas. So you'll get a Vero on that. But 9 times out of 10 is just pull. I've been very lucky. Most of mine have just been pulled with no Veros or no strikes, to where don't do it again, or you cannot list this for this country. And just make sure, if you are able to relist it, just make sure you follow what you cannot do and don't do that again. Basically is what that's about.
Right. And I
thank you, Ms. Denise.
I've been selling on eBay a very, very long time. I've only had one Vero hit. And it actually was on a hat, and it wasn't the hat that was Veroed. It's because Velcro is very much a stickler. And I put adjustable Velcro back.
Yep.
And they hit me for the term Velcro. Even though I wasn't selling Velcro, I was selling the hat. I used the term Velcro, and you change it to hook and loop. That's your go-to when you're selling anything Velcro, and then you have no problem. But that's the only one I've ever had.
And so you know what's funny? My first one was that hat. I did a hat, and I used the word Velcro in my title, and I couldn't understand, why am I getting this? Because that particular hat was a Dodge Ram with the flames hat.
Right.
I called eBay. It's like, what I'm doing wrong? I don't understand. Why is this considered a Vero? And so she looked at it, and she even told me, you can relist this, but you cannot use the word Velcro. And then she gave me the examples: hook and loop, adjustable, anything other than that word Velcro. Right. And so I was able to relist it, and within a week or so I sold it. So yeah. All right, we do have a question already and what is the most used supplies for shipping, and where do you get it, and how frequent? That is an absolutely awesome question.
For me, I would personally have to say boxes. I have a Napa right around the corner from me, and they get their stuff in. Their boxes are very clean. Like, once they take their product out, you can't tell they're used. I'd never use a box that's been sitting in a dumpster with food or anything like that. But these people are actually pretty cool. They know what sizes I commonly use, and they actually break them down for me and set them in the back along with bubble wrap, and set it off to the side so it stays indoors and it's clean. So for me, it's boxes. Well, how about you, Johnny? What is your most repurposed?
I'm going to cover that whole question with what I use. For me, it's mainly boxes. And a lot of times, like for Funko Pops, hats, I use an 8x6x4 box. Most of the time, I also use the bubble wraps, the bubble packing. But for me, I get all mine through eBay on my coupon. If you have a store level, depending on that store level, you do get a coupon that's every quarter. Every now and then you may hear me say Q1 is almost over. Make sure you use your coupon before you lose it. And I do have a video on that on how to find that coupon, because if you don't remember, like I know when I first started, I actually was doing a regular store. I didn't have an actual store level.
Right.
And then in the middle of October, I joined and switched over to an actual level store, the second to highest they had. And then all of a sudden, I heard somebody talking about using your coupon before you lose it. So I went and check and see if I had one. And sure enough, what they did was, even though it was my first month and a half a month, they prorated me and gave me a partial type credit for a coupon. And with that coupon, you go in there and look at shipping supplies, and you can get all that for that coupon. So if you say, for example, in my level, I get $50 every quarter, and that's every 3 months. January, February, March, you got to use it within those months, and that's $50. That comes off of, for example, the amount you pay for your subscription to that store. They're giving you a $50 coupon. And with that coupon, you basically can go in and get anything that's marked eBay is what you can get with that coupon. So if you tend to want to use more boxes, I use a lot of tissue. So with my coupons, every now and then when I'm running low, I'll replenish it with the tissues with the eBay logo on it, or even eBay tape, boxes, poly bags, anything that you would like to use. And it's up to you on how you're going to ship things, but use the best way possible. And make sure when you're shipping things out, you ship it out the way you want it to come to you.
Exactly.
You also got to think about that too, depending on the product, depending on where it's going. You got to look at that as well. But for me, I use my coupon. I have heard people do use, and I see this on a lot of the dumpster diving videos, where there's some people that just strictly go out and dumpster diving for boxes, poly bags, a paper filler, a space, they call that a filler, where you can get these papers. It's like a newspaper, but it's not printed on material, and wrapping paper that's not written on, and that kind of stuff. You'll be surprised at all that stuff people find in a dumpster that is like a recyclable bin. That's all they put in there. Now, you may want to be careful with, like, for example, I see a lot of videos where they go into these dumpster diving, but then there's all kind of food. People open stuff and throw the stuff in there. So you got to be cautious with that for cross-contaminations on that cardboard. But other than that, it's all in what you're going to use for your products.
Absolutely. Like I say, I use Napa, but that's how I connected with them, and they started saving me boxes, is because I used to dumpster dive in their dumpster for boxes, because I shipped a lot of VCRs and stereo amps and receivers. So I needed a good heavy box, you know. And well, you're getting car parts, you're getting cases of oil and stuff like that. So they're a good heavy box. And I was out there and I was going through their dumpster, and they have a separate cardboard, so it's not in there with all the other garbage. And the guy came out, and he happened to be bringing boxes out at the time, and he was just like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "I'm just doing some shipping stuff. I'm just looking for used boxes." And he's like, "Oh man, we got a bunch inside." So I didn't even have to go into the dumpster to get them. And I went in the back door, and he showed me. He's like, "I can save these for you all the time." And I'm like, "Cool." You know, now I don't even have to go. I just walk in the store like once every 2 weeks and just grab a bunch of boxes, and then they'll throw out whatever I don't take.
Now, one of the things I would suggest, like, for example, your Dollar Tree, Dollar Store, Family Dollar, any of those places, go talk to the manager. They're going to throw all that stuff away when they break it down anyway. Depending if they have even a trash compactor or one of those cardboard box compactors.
Yep.
If you reach out to them and say, okay, I know, like, for example, our Family Dollar Tree that I go to, the Dollar Tree, they get their shipments every Tuesday, but they don't do the floors and everything until Wednesday. So if I wanted to go and get anything, I can go on Wednesdays, but I don't do that because I have enough product to ship with. But again, if you contact or talk with, if you're in their store a lot, find out who the manager is. Let them know, look, I'm interested in if you would be able to help me out. Every now and then I may need some boxes or whatever. And if you would like to get rid of them, could I get with you and get them on what day would it be a best day? 9 times out of 10, they'll not only tell you what their truck delivery is, but what day they actually do everything on the floor and get rid of their products to put on the floor and get rid of those boxes.
Yep.
So
and I found like our $3 trees that we go to, and I love Dollar Tree boxes for smaller items because they have a lot of smaller boxes. And when they're out there on the floor, you know, stocking, they're more than happy to give us the boxes because that's less that they got to break down and haul out to the dumpster. You know, they'll give them to me right off the floor. So most places are happy to give you their boxes.
Okay. I'm highlighting this because I'm not sure if it's a question or if it's a statement.
Okay. Let's see what we got.
Like demographics and took the trends which decided on what's listed. For example, 2022. Assuming now today we're reporting exporter economy. Buying trends have changed. Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The answer for me, I definitely always look at trending. I don't just go to sell what's trending, but like with our decal business, definitely we go with what's trending. I'm always Googling what is the trending topics that have to do with like car graphics and whatever. What was it, 2 years ago or what, we were selling that Freedom Convoy decals when all that stuff was going on in Canada and down here. We had a big variety of them. I made sure we had a big variety of them, but I'm not going to put any. I think we have one left on there just for that we sell occasionally, but I took a majority of them down because they're just taking up storeroom. Nobody, it's old news. It's not trending no more. The sales went down on it. So definitely trends have an effect on what we sell. As far as when it comes to the resale type goods, no, because I'm dealing with used stuff. I don't personally look for trending products in used resaleable merchandise. I look at a lot of necessity items or gadgets that people want for their kitchens or their household. Those are the products that I tend to sell. I had to merge over to that when a couple years back, eBay, when they went over to managed payments, they restricted a lot of medical stuff because I used to sell a lot of medical stuff from cryo coolers for your knees to oxygen tubing to air boots and stuff. And when they went over to managed payments, they restricted a lot of that. So I had to change my whole trend of what I sell to something different.
Furniture stores are a great source for bubble wraps as well. You know, I never thought of that. And that's a good point you made on that, because I would have never thought of that. Let's see. I have another statement up here. Let me go to that one. A question, I believe. I believe that was from Denise, and I have a start right here. Miss DD. Tommy, does a neutral feedback rating hurt you?
No, I don't feel a neutral feeding hurts you at all. It's exactly what it is. It's neutral. It's not a positive. I don't think it boosts you, but it doesn't hurt you either. It's just there. Right. I would personally rather not have any feedback versus a neutral feedback. We got a neutral feedback the other day where it was neutral and it was for a decal, and they said it was okay. And I'm waiting to hear back from the person because I reached out to him and I says, seeing you left us a neutral feedback, we appreciate your feedback, but how could we have turned you from an okay customer to this was a fantastic experience customer? And I'm waiting to hear back. And because if I could get them to change that to a positive, it would be great versus a neutral, because like I say, it doesn't hurt you, but it doesn't boost you either. Somebody is saying, yeah, it was an okay experience. I'd rather not have that. I only want all my positives up there.
And one of the things too, what's good about any kind of, if it's a negative or neutral, you can always reach out like you did to the customer, and that's part of customer service. Wanted to know what was wrong. What was it that I can change?
And it bothered me that it was like, it was okay, because we use high quality vinyl. Destiny is very detailed in her work, so I know there was like no bad cuts or tags that were ripping off, and the shipping was like, it was like they got it within 3 days of the day they ordered it. So I'm like, I mean, what were they expecting? Why is it just okay? You know?
Right. Didi says she was unhappy about the size of the item, although I clearly stated the dimensions. One of the things I do, like today, I just listed a pewter eagle, landing eagle, that is $8.98 out of 2,500 piece. It is a signed piece and it is a numbered piece. But what I did was, even though I have the dimensions described in the description bar, because remember, a lot of people don't even go read that. Even though I do, I want to know more. I want to go check out the feedback and things like that. Some people don't do that. And then again, I will take a picture with my measuring ruler,
yes,
and showing the length, showing the width, is the wingspan, what's the wingspan, that kind of stuff. So maybe think about doing that kind of stuff in your pictures as well as your description. So now you're kind of doubling yourself up with that. My opinion is that a lot of people don't look at all that. Now, why do we sit there and write all that stuff in our description? Because we want to make sure it's all details are there, but a lot of people just don't go read it. I don't know why.
I find a lot of people don't read the description, because they'll reach out through a message and ask us a question that is in the description. And it's like, you want to just say, hey, don't you read? But we always use our excellent customer service and very polite and answer their question. But I always do point out the answer to your question is listed in the description.
Yeah.
And then I'll go and answer the question. But
yeah,
a lot of people don't read.
Like with Didi's last statement. On my last sale I had last weekend, I literally typed it all in, all the little boxes you check off, and it didn't state that it was instrumental, but you could see the pictures. It was all music. It was all this and that. And the question came in, is this instrumental or is it vocal? So what I did was I went back, checked to make sure it was in the listing, and I just went back and answered. These are all vocal. There is no instrumental on this album. The minute I hit send, within a minute, he purchased it. But again, sometimes you do have to go out of your way. Sometimes it's right there in the listing. You already took the time to do the pictures, do the listing, and do your details, and they don't read it. So 9 times out of 10, as long as you do get that email and you reply to it, you will have more likely to have a sale than if you just ignore it. Never ignore an email from a customer.
Absolutely. And I will, as annoying as some of the questions that you get through an email, one way to stay positive about it is somebody is showing interest in your item enough to message you. eBay recognizes that as interest in your item, which actually helps them push it out to other people, because they say, well, this person is interested in it. Let's push it out to other people that have the same interest and look at the same stuff as this guy. There's been many times that I've been messaging back and forth with somebody about something, and somebody completely different all of a sudden bought it.
Yeah.
You know, same with offers. People get upset because they get lowball offers. Don't ignore it. Don't decline it. Always counter it. Even if you're countering it with the same price you have it listed for, because you just don't want to come down on it. Always counter it, because the more activity you have on an item, the more it shows eBay that people are interested, and they push it out to more people. That's another thing I've had. I've gone back and forth with a guy through counter offers, and it's sold to somebody completely different during that time.
Exactly. And that happens a lot, because I even have that happen where I'll send out offers. Somebody sends me a question, I reply. But it's interesting how sometimes you may have multiple watchers on an item and somebody else doesn't want to wait. I've had somebody send me an offer and I accepted it, and they turn around and purchase it before I can accept it. They purchased it for the full asking price, or an offer that I already sent them in the past, because you do have a certain time frame when you do send out offers. So take your chance. You know, the most they're going to do is turn around and buy it, and they don't want to wait sometimes, and they just buy it as what you already sent them an offer for. Hello, shopping on the low.
And a good tip here, a lot of people don't know this, but reply as fast as you can. eBay takes into account, and they used to have a score rating for it somewhere, and maybe they still do, but I lost track of it. But they used to have a rating on how fast you reply. So if you're like getting ready to lay down, somebody sends you a question and you look at it, reply to it. Don't be like, now I'll answer that in the morning. I'm guilty of it. It does happen sometimes. But if you're able to reply right away, reply right away. It definitely helps you.
Okay, you can find that in the tab on the top of your Seller Hub under Performance Summaries. If you go to that summary, you can see a lot of details about your store. You can see how many times how fast you've replied to somebody, shipping labels, the difference in how you ship compared to how fast you took care of an item. There's so many things about your traffic, your sales, your levels, all the service metrics is on the left-hand side.
Where are you seeing your response time, Johnny?
I'm looking for that right now, because I'm looking for right now. I said service metric. It even goes into feedback, missing parts, arrival time, wrong items, 0. All mine's a 0. Only had 1 return in the last 3 years. Let's see. I know they did traffic. There's so many different tabs on the left-hand side. Let's see here.
See, I lost track of a lot of that stuff when they changed their seller hub. What was that, last spring or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I lost track of it. They moved a lot of things around.
I'm looking for all that detail because there's so much in here to look at. You have your sales, your levels, your service matrix, reports.
Does anybody in chat know where that is?
I'm looking for it right now. Edit store, subscription, manage subscriptions, marketing, listings, orders. I know there's in here somewhere, but I got to remember. It's been a while. I just came across it the other day with something new they're doing.
Yeah, transaction.
All right, there's your store, your performance.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. But I do know that the faster you respond, the better. Because I think I have like a 15-minute average response time.
Mm-hmm. I don't see it. I know they revamped the whole thing with a whole bunch of new things, tabs. I'm still learning about all this.
Right, that's what I was saying.
There's just so much. Sales, traffic. That's what the traffic looks like.
Yep, I don't know where it is.
So much in here.
Maybe I'll have to spend some time looking for it.
Yeah, there's just so many new things they've been adding to the reports and stuff. All right, let me see. Where was we at here? Yeah. Hello, good morning, and welcome. Shopping on the low. Let's see. Light upgrade information thing. You're welcome. And we do this every Tuesday now. And then on Thursdays, it's about Poshmark. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, good morning, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. And Kajun and guess all in the chat. And happy Valentine's Day. Hello, Stacy. How are you doing? Good morning. Hello, and welcome. And happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you. I know some people say, well, I'm single. Well, you know what? Treat yourself. I know I did yesterday. I went shopping and I saw those sugar-free Valentine's hearts, which I've always been looking for. Always already bought one for Robert. So I said, why don't I buy one for myself? So I did. Treat yourself. So yeah.
See, I'm probably going to be in trouble because I totally didn't realize today was Valentine's Day.
You didn't. Oh. Democracy. Never heard of that company.
So,
so yeah, if you have any questions that have to do with eBay and there's something you were wondering about, thinking about, and are you thinking about getting into reselling with eBay? Let us know. We have questions. That's what we're here for, question and answers. Hello, Peddling Profits. Good morning. Make sure you do ask them. You want to make sure you understand and know some things. We're not here to say we're professionals, but we can here to help you, guide you on any questions you may have.
Absolutely. Right? I do not claim to be a professional at all. I just claim to have a lot of experience because I sell a lot.
And again, you learn from mistakes, so don't be afraid to make mistakes. Hello, Cheryl. Hello. Good morning and welcome. That brings me to my next question about making mistakes. Now, earlier that's the question I was thinking about. I almost forgot what it was. You talked a little earlier about retail arbitrage. For those who don't know what that is, and it's RA, what is, and explain a little bit about that.
Retail arbitrage, which I have done some for eBay. It's more of a Amazon common way. Well, you still have time to make oh my God. Right. Retail arbitrage is where you go out to, like, say, Walmart, Walgreens, whatever, but you're going and buying new product, whether it be on clearance or you can go into just about any store and find product, even at retail full price on the shelf, that you can sell at a higher price online. And that's basically what your retail arbitrage is buying brand new product off the shelf and then listing it on eBay or Amazon or whatever platform to sell for a profit. It's the same as if you buy it online and you're going and buying something in bulk online, except instead of retail arbitrage, it's online arbitrage. But it's just buying new product off the shelf, bringing it home, and reselling it.
Now that brings me to my next question. I do have a video on this on like how to do your sourcing on your phone. What is the major thing that I see this a lot, and I'm going to see what your answer is. What is the biggest mistake people do when doing retail arbitrage? And for example, they see a video, Bolo, look what's going on, how much it's going for, what is it selling for? What is the worst thing people can not make sure not to do when retail arbitraging after watching multiple videos of what people are finding on retail arbitrage?
One thing that I stay away from is I don't run out and buy that product. You know, because you figure, especially if it's a bigger channel that put that bolo out, you know, hey, bought this, sold it for this much. Well, all them other people that seen that and then talk about it with their other friends, and they all run out and buy that product, and you're not going to sell it and make the profit they made. Because when they happen to find it, if they were a smart reseller, they did not put that video out until they sold out.
Yep.
Because otherwise they're just going to create competition for themselves, and everybody's going to race to the lowest price to be able to sell their product. So I would say the biggest mistake is getting excited and running out to Walmart and trying to find that product to sell it. Before you do that, make sure you check and see if it's still worth what they claimed it was worth.
Now, also, you got to remember when and if you're watching a video and they're putting out, oh, this bolo and look what it's going for, but you never know when they put that out. They might have put the video out yesterday, but how long ago was it before they ran out? But the biggest problem I see is, for example, when you're in the store and you're buying it because so-and-so purchased it and selling it, always look and see. When I go to a store and I'm doing retail arbitrage, because remember, not every store that you go to where you live may have that product.
Right.
It may be a regional thing where they're discounting it. But one of the things you need to look at is how many are listed that did not sell yet. If that number is higher than what's selling, stay away from it. If you have 20, 15 items listed of that one item and only 4 sold, that's a red flag. Don't buy it, because then guess what's going to happen? You purchase it. You can either wait on it to list it later, or you list it and have to sit on it because it's not selling, because everybody else is trying to sell their stuff at a cheaper price. Then you're going to have to hold off and wait. So do you actually, you got to think, do I have the money to be able to sit on this to wait till it does come down to where I can sell mine? You got to look at that too.
Absolutely.
Let's see. What is the profit margin what profit margin do you set for retail arbitrage?
I don't do a lot of whole retail arbitrage. I've done some, and it really all depends on the sell-through rates of the product that Johnny was just talking about, how fast it's going to sell through, how much of the product there is. If I can buy 100 pieces of something, I'll accept a lower profit margin on it versus if there's 10, because the profits build up over the more products. From what I understand, people that do the retail arbitrage, I think if they're buying like a replenishable retail arbitrage item that they can constantly get more of, I'm hearing about the average of 32% profit is their target. You're not going to make as much on your retail arbitrage as you are on your one-off thrift store finds or Goodwill finds.
Correct. Now, one of the things you got to look at too, your fees. How much is it going to cost you to get that item listed and sold? Shipping. Right. Are you going to make sure you cover the shipping, or are you going to go? Some people do free shipping, so you got to look at that as well. So when you're comparing items, even on your apps, also look at, is it free shipping or is it plus shipping? Are you going to lose money, or are you going to pay somebody to buy it from you? If you don't adjust your costs accordingly so you can at least make a profit, I look at, if I'm going to list something that I purchased for, say, $3, my minimum is going to be $9, because I want to at least double my money and get back my money, but also cover the fees, cover the shipping, so I know I'm not going to come out of my pocket, because I did make that mistake once where I bought something at a flea market. Oh my God, I'm going to make this money. Then I go to list it, and guess what? Somehow I did a listing. I did my very next listing. Now that listing was free shipping. I go to do this next shipping, and guess what happened? I didn't change it from free shipping to calculated shipping, and I got stuck paying the shipping, and guess what? My profit was less than negative than what I paid for it. So you're going to watch that too.
And also it's really hard to say what you should run for a profit margin, because when I first started on eBay, I was willing to accept much lower profit margins than I am now.
Yeah.
You know, because especially if you're working with limited funds and you're just getting started, you're willing, you know, I went like now, not on the decals. Those are our bread and butter. But when it comes to the reselling of actual hard goods, I don't mess with anything that isn't going to, I got to at least make $30 on it. I don't care if I'm buying it for $1 or if I'm buying it for $6. I have to clear $30 on it at the bare minimum, or I won't even look at it.
Well, that goes back to setting your profit margin, because if you're looking at an item and you set your price, I want to make this amount of money. No matter how much you pay for it, you got to think of, can you sell it for not only the price you paid for it, but what you want to make. If you're looking to say pay a bill and you're trying to make a budget of what you want to make sure you have at least that and the what you want, and is it worth buying? Does those two numbers add up to where what you're going to make is going to be worth it? So you can look at that too. And
everybody has their own profit margins that they're going to be happy with. Because like I say, now I have to at least clear $30 on an item. Where when I first started, I was happy if I doubled money on a $10 item. You know, just to get started, any positive cash flow was pretty much acceptable for me. But as you grow and you get bigger and you start having that money in your eBay account and you're not living sale to sale, you tend to get higher expectations and go for higher end products or more profit margin products.
Right.
But then again, I know people that have 10,000 items that are making a couple dollars per item, and they're for the quick sale and they're going for the quantity turnover, and that's how they make their figures.
Well, also you got to look at too, you may not know where they're getting their products from. You know, they may have, for example, you may have a person who's getting it from a wholesale company. They may have a wholesale license. So they may get it cheaper than what you can. So when you're all out there retail arbitraging, you got to watch that as well. Is it going to be worth you making that money and making sure you got enough to cover what you want to make, plus the price you pay for it? So you got to look at all that too, and make sure you set your price of what you want. You know, how much do I want to make? And then now you go from there. So you want to make sure you look at all of that. Now, remember that things that I do in my business is totally different than what Tommy does. What works for Tommy may not work for me. So you got to figure out what is best for you. For example, I'm looking through, every day I'm going through products that I buy. Now I look at and see, is it worth me listing on eBay? Am I going to be able to make the profit I want? Again, you set your profit, because I want to make sure I'll cover the costs I paid for it, the fees that I'm gonna have to pay, and the shipping. Now, again, even though I always make sure I include shipping in my listing, there are some things that I do free shipping on, depending on the product and where its weight is. So you got to think about all that at the same time and say, okay, is it worth me listing? Am I going to make enough money that I want to make, and how fast it's going to sell? You can look at that too. Yep. Hello, Dawn. How are you doing?
And like me, I'm very much on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know,
Stephanie wants to know, why do you like selling on eBay?
Probably the biggest reason I like selling on eBay is I'm comfortable with it, because I know it so well. I believe the market reach is phenomenal on eBay for what we sell. There might be better platforms if you're in the clothing, maybe Poshmark or Depop is your platform. But for what we sell, which is our decals in one store, hard goods in another store, eBay's just our best platform. If you're into the retail arbitrage, or you can get wholesale on items, maybe Amazon's the platform to look at. I am definitely not saying eBay's the number one and only platform. It's just our best option. And I think it's a very good option for people that are looking to make some extra money or get familiar with the online e-commerce platforms, because eBay is one of the most forgiving, in my opinion, and allows you room for error. You know, you get on Amazon, you screw up, they'll shut you down.
Yeah.
You know, eBay will at least said you did this wrong and slap you on the hand and give you chances to correct it multiple times. You know,
Exactly.
So it's just one of the best, I think, forgiving platforms, and one of the easiest to get started in. And eBay is like our main platform. We sell on other platforms, but eBay is the main platform. Everything we sell is on eBay. Selected items are cross-listed to other platforms that are good for those items on that platform. But eBay is just your wide open, from new to used to auctions, which I understand might be changing in some states on eBay. It's just a wide variety platform. It's your, what is it? Your online flea market, right?
Yeah. You know, one of the things I enjoy about it is because if you're not into, and you're thinking about getting into reselling, I find that the reason I chose eBay first is because I did look at some of the other platforms, but to get started, eBay was the top easiest platform to fool with when it came to a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some none of this, and you may have something you had in your house that's been sitting there and it's still sealed. You didn't touch it. And so I always made sure to start with, when I first started, when I did a clearance, what would you call that again?
A clean out.
A clean out. I did more like a I know there's a word for it.
A purge.
The purge. When I purged the house to move, I was going through so much stuff. It's like, wait, we never touched this. It's still sealed, still there. Guess what? It went into a box and said eBay, inventory for eBay, because I already knew and did my research on what I was going to do. But I have to say, eBay is the easiest to get started on. Granted, when you start, you're going to have these issues where, because you're starting out, they're going to keep your money sometimes on an item for up to 90 days of your sales. Like when you first start, your first 90 days, or if you sell $100 items or more, they usually can pick and hold that money until it's delivered, shown that it's been delivered with a tracking number. So the more you do, the more you get your feedback up, the more you're able to sell. So to learn easy, I find that it was easier to use, and that's why I chose eBay first. Now, yes, granted, I've been doing this for over 3 years now, to where I do sell on other platforms, but I'm very selective of what I list on those platforms.
Right.
So you want to think of that as well too.
And I would suggest, Johnny, and I'm sure you would agree, if you're just jumping into eBay and getting started, don't go sell $100 item.
No.
Don't do that. Start, for one, if I see somebody out there and I'm looking at an item and it's let's go with my laser engraver, for instance. I didn't buy it on eBay, but if I would, I'm not gonna buy it and spend, you know, that type of money from somebody that has no sales history, no feedback. So you're gonna lose attention that way. But I will take a risk on a phone case, you know, maybe a cheaper webcam, something like that. So use those smaller items to get started, do a sales history. Not to mention, if you sell me this laser engraver and for some reason I'm just the customer that's going to be the pain and want to return it to you, you're waiting on that money. That $100 is locked up, but you got to pay for a return shipping label now for me.
Yep.
You know, because I'm going to figure out some way to get out of paying the return ship. I'm not going to say, I just didn't like it. I'm going to come up with a way where you're going to pay the shipping limit, and it can just put you behind before you even get started.
Especially if you're waiting for that money and you're trying to buy more and you can't because that money is on hold, and eBay will do it. I've seen a lot of people complaining, well, I didn't get my money yet. What's going on? Well, one, you're new. One, you don't have 90 days yet under your belt, and you don't have over 100 sales under your belt, or whatever comes first. When it comes to holding some money. Now, they can hold any transaction. That don't mean they can hold every transaction, but they have the right to do that because you're new. So you got to think of that as well. And Dawn made a great comment and statement. Start small and grow from there.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. Yeah, that is correct. My first sale on the internet was $300. I had no feedback.
But I don't value. I need to be sold online. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just.
It will happen. Yeah. It can happen to where, say, the customer wasn't happy. Now, guess what happens? Once you have a case of a return all open from a customer, that money will automatically be on hold until it's returned. So you got to be careful with that too, especially when you're just starting out. Now, we're not trying to scare you away. We just think smarter when starting out. Do the smaller thing.
But I will say, you know, a first sale, no feedback, $300.
That's awesome.
That's cool. I mean, that's real cool.
Not too many people have that under their belt.
I wish my first sale would have been that. You know what my first sale was? I can remember my first sale because I was so excited about it. I paid 50 cents. Remember the game Icebreaker?
Yeah.
Little plastic frame, and you'd knock the cubes out, had the guy standing on it. You didn't want to be the guy that made them fall. That was my very first sale. I bought it for 50 cents at a rummage and sold it for, I think, 16 bucks.
Wow.
On eBay. It was my very first sale. I was so excited because it sold literally, my very first sale sold literally within like 4 hours. And I was so excited. So it just sticks in my head. A lot of people can't remember the first thing they sold.
Mine was a handheld poker game that was still new in the pack.
Oh yeah,
I had so many of those that were still new that I was buying and never opened it. So I said, well, let me list them. Let me get it out of here. I want to minimize. I want to get away from some of this stuff. And I was like, okay, what's the most I can get for it? So again, you look up your comps, you look at what's sold, and I listed it. I want to say it was like for $12 and something. And I ended all my stuff with 86. So it had to be because that was my very first sale. I didn't know anything about offers and all this other stuff, still learning about eBay. And it sold within a week because I was taking my time listing, but I was also under the 250 listings. So I was being careful. Once I hit the 250 mark, and then I started getting into, I had a whole crate full of Barbie dolls. And then I started selling little things here and there. But once I listed those Barbie dolls, eBay started giving me more able to list than just that 250. And they also lifted up the amount of dollar signs that I can list at the same time as well. So the more you list within that time they're giving you because you're new, the little bit of things that you list can add up to the bigger things later. Because then I started going into the Barbie dolls. That's when I started really selling it because I was getting my feedback up. I was getting more sales under my belt. And once I listed those Barbie dolls, that was it. It was on. I was hooked. But again, I was hooked before that, but it really got me into doing more. All right, Jeffrey, have a great day. Don't work too. Take it easy. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hello to each other. If you have any questions about eBay, let us know. Hello, all in the attic. Hello, Marianne. How are you doing? Good morning. Hello, and welcome, and happy Valentine's Day to you too. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is all about eBay. We're doing this every Tuesday. Also, don't forget to check out all these channels. Jennifer has been dropping the links in the chat. Go check out these channels. Check them out. If you like their content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and hit the comments and share it out and go watch some videos. Leave comments. That all helps their channel.
And I'm always willing to learn too. I'm not one of these people that say my way is the best way or whatever. I mean, if you have any suggestions or if there's anything that I'm saying that you think is inaccurate or you might have a better point on it, I am more than happy to hear it.
Right.
I'm learning every day from other resellers.
The good thing about this too is you got hello Tina, hello Renee, welcome. One of the things you got to remember too, if for example you get and you're just starting out, you're trying to learn, and say for example you listen to a lot of these different people like myself or Tom or someone else who's talking about eBay. There's several other channels that do on a regular basis talk about everything about eBay, and you take a little bit from each person and you make it your own. Will this work for me? Just like when you're cooking a spaghetti, what you do with the pasta, well, they say do this, but I don't do it. But throw a noodle to the wall. If it sticks, it's good. It's done. Well, basically the same thing. Is whatever works for you, it don't hurt to try it. Does it work for you? Maybe, maybe not. And that's the only way you're going to learn, will it work for you, is if you try it. If it doesn't work, try something else until it does work for you.
Right.
What's up, Sailor Stacker? Hello, hello, good morning, and welcome. So you got to be sure you're ready to switch things around. If it's not working, then change it.
I'm constantly switching things up in my stores, whether I'm playing with the promoted listing fees, marketing sales ad rates, where I'm sharing keywords that I'm using, even when I'm sharing outside of eBay, the tags that I add to them, I'm always playing with those. and experimenting, trying to fine tune and upgrade my sales. And the experiment, which I'm going to run here for a solid month, but I have grown in our decal store over the last 30 days. I'm up 47%.
Yes, Jennifer, I did. It came out yesterday, and you were the first one I put on it.
Which
something they're rolling out.
Which I think for a 47% increase in sales tells me that my experiment is definitely going in a positive direction.
Yeah, you do, Jennifer. It rolled out on me yesterday, and everybody's getting different things, and I got mine yesterday. So yes, you are. One of the things I want to mention and have my next question for those who may not know. Now, I saw where Mark made the comment in reference to people shy away from international sales. I, believe it or not, I did not. When I first started, I didn't do international shipping. I wanted to learn eBay first. So don't feel like you have to do it right away, but don't be afraid to start a few items. Like I did list some items when I did decide to do it, because I hear all these other channels were talking about it. So yeah, I did try it, but you don't have to try it on every item. But yeah, you can offer it and then see if it works. And again, if you're new, be aware of these different scams. People who list new and they see you're new, they're going to try to scam something with you. So be careful with that as well. Let's see here. Yeah, I was telling everybody good morning. My next question would have been with, has guests done eBay lives?
No, eBay Live is very limited to who they're inviting into it at this point. They're still going through their. What's that?
I think it's in beta.
Yeah, it's in a beta. It's in a testing stage. So they're obviously testing it. A lot of them have a bigger social media presence and stuff like that, because they're testing it with people that are actually going to draw, that they know are going to draw people in. But I am looking forward to see where that goes.
Yeah,
with eBay Live.
Well, I know they did. Weren't they trying something like similar to Whatnot, and that failed, and they stopped it?
No, they're still
testing it.
They're still doing it. Yeah, they're doing the live auctions and the live sales. But like I say, it's very limited at this point yet.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure if they did or not. Sending Sunshine, Miss Margie. All right. Vintage Memory says, I have several tips pulled down. I've had several items pulled down because sales banner in other countries. Yeah, that's what we talked about a little while ago. You got to be careful because there's certain things you cannot ship to certain countries. Now, you can go back and list that item, but don't allow international shipping.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things you got to watch. If you listed it and it was pulled because of international, you can relist it, but make sure you do not include international shipping for that particular item. So yeah, you can do that. But they won't let you do it if you do it again for other countries. So you got to watch that too. That's advice for new buyers who make purchases from sellers who have. Yes.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Get a good way to get your feedback started is by buying, not selling. And you can buy cheap things. We bought penny auction stones. Well, what are they called? Phone screen protectors, because you can literally buy them for pennies on eBay and get an instant feedback as soon as you pay. And that way, when you do start selling, you at least have some positivity. Even though it's not as a seller, it still shows that you have 100% positive feedback. It might only be 10, but it's still 100% positive.
Now, Mark has a good comment, and I did this from the get-go. I would also open a bank account separate from your regular banking account for payouts. That is so true.
It is, but like I say, that's actually up to the person that's selling. If you're just trying to clean out your attic or your garage, and you're not planning on making it a business, it doesn't really matter. Use your personal account, sell your stuff, let the money go in there, and it's fine. But yeah, definitely, if you are thinking that you're going to sell, you're going to turn it into a business, you're going to be paying taxes on it, definitely keep your funds separated. It makes it so much easier.
Now I have a question that I want to ask, and I'm maybe somebody else is having that same question. When you do your promoted listings,
Yep.
From what I'm hearing, and I think this is the correct thing about it. If you change, for example, you do everything in the store, or you run everything, or you run a promotion of like say 2% on everything, and then a few weeks later you go back and change it to 5% on everything. Does that affect you to where it takes a while for the first one to end and then the second one to take over, or is that something? How does that work? And how would you recommend doing promoted listings if you do?
Okay, how your promoted listings work is if I go and click on one of your items that you have promoted at 2% today, right? If I purchase that item within 30 days, even if you ended a 2% promotion, if 29 days from now I purchase that item, you're going to pay that 2%.
Correct.
Even if you have it redone at the 5%. If you ended the 2% and have it at the 5%, because I clicked on it at the 2%, I'm going to get, now if I see your 5% promotion out there again, and that redraws my attention, I click that 5% advertised promotion, then it's going to go up to the 5%. But you will pay that percentage for 30 days after the person has clicked it.
Right. I
hope that answered.
Yeah, I just wanted to, in case, because somebody may not know about the promoted listings, because some people don't do it, and I didn't do it.
If you do promote something, and then you say, "Well, I'm not going to. I don't like that. I sold a couple items on it, and I don't like giving them that extra fee. I'm going to end my promoted listings." For 30 days after, you still have the potential of being charged that 2%.
That's the answer I wanted. Okay. In case, because you got to remember, eBay will not end it immediately. Now you can go in and change it, but that once you start a promoted listing, it's good for 60 days or 30 days. So if somebody clicks on it, it does last for those 30 days. But if you go back and change it, guess what? You still got that 30 days on the first one. Then you still have, if anybody clicks, especially if you have somebody who's watching it, they can also get into that percentage as well. Mark says, a lesson I learned that hard way was going with eBay suggested as 90 on starting on auction starting at 99 cents. Do not start an auction with anything lower than what you were willing to accept.
I agree and disagree. and I'll tell you why. If you can't afford to take the loss, definitely do not start an auction for less than you are absolutely willing to take.
Yeah.
But then you have people like Pete, Craigslist Hunter, that starts everything at 99 cents, even if it's a $300 item, and he takes the risk. And I'll tell you the theory behind that. If I'm going to sell my iPhone at auction, and I know it's an older iPhone, I want at least $100 for it. If I start that auction at $100, it's going to get maybe a few watchers and stuff like that. But if I start it at 99 cents, it's going to draw a ton more attention. eBay is going to put it out there. I guarantee I'm going to get a ton more watchers because people are going to hope that it's going to go cheap. I'm guilty of doing that myself. I was just looking at bulletproof vests, and I seen one starting at auctions for $15, and I was like, well, I'm gonna watch this one. Maybe I might get it cheap, but it went up to like $180. So it does work to draw people in, and those watchers, all it takes is a couple of them to get into that little bidding war that could take it way up and beyond what you would expect to get. I did auctions with you, Johnny, I believe. No, maybe it wasn't you.
Yeah, I think you did one.
But I always, even when I do like YouTube auctions, I only start at 99 cents or $1. You know, I start every auction at $1 because I find there are a couple of items that's like, dang, I kind of lost a few bucks on that item. But more than not, I have sold things for way more than I expected to get for them because of the amount of eyes that got on the item for starting it at 99 cents. But
Jennifer has a good question. Do you do auctions on eBay?
I do. I do a lot of auctions. I try to have auctions going, some sort of auctions going, not our decal store, but with the resale goods. I've always tried to have auctions going, at least a couple of them that I started at 99 cents to draw people into my store. You know, they see that cheap price, they come in here, they click on it, and then they're like, oh, let me see what else they got that's cheap. So it's more of a traffic driver, and it was always items that usually were stale, and I was going to donate anyways back to the Goodwill or throw them at the flea market or the rummage to get rid of them. So auctions are very much a traffic booster, especially cheap ones.
Now, I first started out, I did a few 99 cents starting bid. Now you can run the auction for as long as you want. I think there's certain limits you can do on the duration of an auction.
I think your auctions are
3, 7,
3, 7, 15 or 14, and then 30,
yeah,
30 day or
4.
something like that.
Yeah. But I have to say, I didn't have any success with those. And I was just trying out when I first started because I didn't know anything about it. I wanted to try it out. I hear people talking about, oh, I did really well on online auctions on my listings on eBay. No.
Yeah,
you got to make sure you end it the day it ends, because if not, it'll automatically, if you don't have it set for do not automatically, it will do it.
Yeah, and like I say, I always had continuous auctions, and a lot of it was stale inventory that just didn't sell, even for 99 cents at auction.
Yeah.
But they brought traffic in,
right?
And there was things like just ugly shirts that I had that were just bad buys that I had at auction that just continuously started over, and it's actually cheaper, especially when you get the allotment of free auctions, to run those and bring traffic in than using promoted listings to bring traffic in.
All right, what I'm going to do is I got more questions, but I don't want to keep adding more questions, and I got things I want to ask again for next week, so I'm kind of putting those to the back burner for right now. Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and open the panel now for if anybody who would like to come on and talk about things with eBay, your experiences, or you want to promote your channel. This is where I'm going to open the panel up for anyone. If you want to come on, the link will be momentarily at the top of the chat in a blue box. Remember to please have your camera on to verify that it's you when you do come on, and you're welcome to come up, promote your channel, chit chat about the topics we're talking about today and questions. You're more than welcome to join us. So yeah, if you have any questions, definitely ask them in the chat, but I try to keep some questions ready for the next show to kind of get it started. And so I already have a few in my lineup for next week. My birthday is next week, February 21st. That's next Tuesday, a week from today. Well, guess what? Yaya, you're going on the calendar.
And I'm gonna drop my Instagram link here in chat, Johnny. Yeah. And if anybody has any questions at any time, or just wants to get started, or wants some advice, or just don't know where to begin, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than willing to help you out in any way that I can. Just send me a message on Instagram. Especially if you're thinking about getting started and you're just not knowing exactly where to begin or how to start.
And if for some reason you miss it in the chat and you don't get it, go to the description bar below. It is in the description bar. All of Tommy's information, his YouTube channel, eBay, Instagram, and email. All of that's in there. You're more than welcome to get it from the description of the video. Let's see here.
Peddling Profit said, best day to end auction used to be Sunday to Sunday, ending early evening. Do you feel the same, Tommy, or has that changed? No, I run my auctions to end right around, we're in Central Time, so to end right around 7 o'clock every Sunday. I feel that's the most prime time where people are available if they do want to bid on something. I don't want to have an auction ending at 1:30 in the afternoon where people are at work and can't get that last minute bid in.
So do you do it from Sunday to Sunday?
They're 7-day auctions, so I'll do them from Monday to Sunday.
Okay, all right.
Monday to Sunday, and you don't think about your time and what people are doing. So I found Sunday evenings is the most universally available time for people, because Sunday mornings, you have people that go to church. Saturday evenings, you have people that are going out and doing events. During the week, all day is like kind of off limits because people are at work. In the evenings, some people are going to bed early. Some people are working second shift. So I found that Sunday evenings is universally the best time from the experience I've had.
All right. Dawn wants to know, Tommy, where do you source from? Thrift stores, estate sales, auctions, garage sales?
I used to do a lot of sourcing from pretty much all of those thrift stores. Flea market I have literally right around the corner from me. But as of late, most of my sourcing is coming from online auctions and looking into possibly grabbing a couple of liquidation pallets. But I don't like spending my time is getting too constrained. So I don't like spending that. I got to go out all day and drive around. You know, we're from a small town, so our closest Goodwill is 40 minutes away. And then every other like thrift store is further than that. So it takes us a while to actually go thrifting. I will on the weekends hit the rummage sales in town, but it's a small town. We only have a handful of them every weekend. So I actually converted over to buying from online auctions where I can sit here and look when the auction comes out. I can do my comps and my sell-through rate, know what I'm willing to pay for this item by the time the auction ends, and buy everything and go pick it up all at once. And I know where I'm going. I know I found my items. It's not, I can go 40 minutes to the Goodwill and not find anything. You know, so I merged over to a lot of online auctions.
Well, you got to look at when doing that, you got to look at your time that you're spending because it's all valuable as part of your pricing that you're doing on things that you do find. How long did it take you to get there? How long did you shop? How long does it take you to clean it if you have to clean it, if it's something used? How long will it take you to pack it? And all that kind of stuff you have to think into consideration. Sometimes it may not be worth it because the time is a factor.
Right.
But if you're looking at just because you have nothing else better to do, you're going to go out in that area anyway, then yeah, that's a different story. But also think about online whatnot auctions. There's a lot of people who, when they first start out, I'm just saying this from what I'm hearing, a lot of people do it at 99 cents or $1 starting bid. So those are the ones you want to catch because then you can get some good deals. Because I hear a lot of people who buy from whatnots for their reselling. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing you want to think about. Do you want to keep things that are used to resell, like refurbished items, or do you want new sealed items? So you got to look at that as well. Go ahead, Tommy.
And I was going to say, when it comes to like whatnot auctions or even YouTube auctions, what I found to be successful is find the people that are just dabbling in getting started in the auctions.
Yeah.
The ones that don't have a lot of people in their auctions, you're going to get a much better deal from the guy that's got 15 people in his auction versus the guy that's got 325 people in his auction.
Yeah.
You know, so if you can find them auctions that don't have a big following. And I do that. I do a lot of auctions through HiBid. Are you familiar with HiBid, Johnny?
Yes,
Online?
I bought on there before too. Yeah.
I'm constantly looking for the new auction companies that are popping up on there in the area. Because
have you ever tried Remax Sold?
No, I haven't.
It's a new thing that I have found here, and it's more of household estate sales, so to say, where they'll sell things and you have a certain time, you get like a lot, and then you take it after the auctions are done, you'll get a certain pickup time and slot to go and pick it up. And it's mainly, you basically have to put your area of zip code and how far you want to go out, just like you
got a link for that, Johnny?
I can get it.
That'd be cool. Definitely cool. But yeah, I found that my time is much better spent shopping online because I can shop online, the auctions online, anywhere, anytime. If I'm riding in the car, if I'm laying down in the evening, you know, watching a little bit of TV, bursting, my time is much more productive spent that way than it is jumping in the car, driving around all day to may or may not find a bunch of good items. Many times when picking up your items you want at an auction, you can preview their next upcoming auctions. Yeah, we do a lot of in-person previewing. If we're picking up and they have their next auction lined up, or a lot of places already have another auction going on when we go to pick up. But I love the time that I saved getting into the online auction arbitrage.
It's not Remax, it's Max Sold. I said it wrong.
Max Sold. Yeah.
MaxSold.com. I had to look at my last invoice to see what the actual website was. And yeah, you have to put in your just MaxSold.com. And basically you go in there and you put your zip code and you find whatever's available. Maybe there's some sales. Once you sign up for it, it then goes to, but it's called MaxSold.com. Let's see here. Did you find it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And then of course you can better see the lots. You can have multiple lots because there's so many people who don't want to go out and get it. But it's amazing. Robert got me hooked on it because he's the one that started with it here in our area. And it kind of found out it was actually an estate sale. They were trying to sell things through there. And I went through one that I did where it was actually a company who buys out homes after the estate sale's over. Okay. They were buying and selling things in lots, and I went to their home on a weekend, and I bought a whole bunch of stuff through them and had to go and pick it up. And it was easy because he already had it all together for me. Like everything I purchased was in one little square. That when I got there, he even helped me put it in the car. But yeah.
Here, I'm gonna drop a link here in chat too, Johnny, for where I've been buying quite a bit of. Why is it not letting me drop that link?
I don't know. Michael is off. Well, hello, Michael. Headed back to another video, upcoming live auction for our buddy. Awesome.
Huh. Won't let me drop it.
Oh, I saw what I was going. Okay, call it Robin. All right. Hello, Robin. I'm sorry, I didn't hit enter.
Well, it's a site. It's called Haul Sale. HAUL sale.com. And
HA what?
HAUL SALE.com. And I actually been getting quite a bit. We have quite a few sellers that are in my area where I can pick up locally and save on shipping, but all these people will ship. A lot of their shipping is flat rate shipping, so you know what you're going to pay in the shipping, and I've gotten some pretty good deals on there.
All right, there you go.
And with the wholesale, it's more geared towards bulk buying than it is one-off items. You know, you're going to buy.
It's a great place to
25
buy
units.
bulk stuff.
What's that?
Dawn said that I have done one Max Sold auction and went pretty well. You can find some good stuff, especially when they have a lot. Robert bought this thing for $5. It was a lot of typewriters and cameras. It was unbelievable. He only paid $5 for the whole lot. And you choose to either host your own auction or have with a Max Code. You got to go through them, and they do the auctions. As far as I know, I have never hosted one. It's more of companies that have you have to pay for it. You got lagging?
No,
I'm buffering.
Depending
on the state, you need to look at there's new laws coming up that you have to check your state, because eBay is getting involved with online auctions, to where you need to check your state and see if you're having to get an auctioneer's license for online sales.
Right. That's what I was just reading. I think it was somebody in Ohio that just
Ohio. Yeah, they just passed that new law. Yeah. That was the auction professor, actually.
Which I don't agree with. I mean, I would think eBay is actually the auctioneer. I'm just giving them the product, just as if locally here in Wisconsin, you have to have an auctioneer's license if you're going to run like an estate auction or something. But I don't have to have one to sell it at that auction. I just have to give it to the auctioneer and give him a percentage, just as I do on eBay, you know.
Right. Now, I saw a question about what laws they just started passing, especially if you live in Ohio. But you want to check with your state website in reference to the new laws and check and see if you are. Basically look up your state and look up the laws binding for online sales, resales, auctions. If you're doing auctions and your state requires you to have an auctioneer's license, then you may want to make sure you check that and see, because in the state of Ohio, they just recently passed where they have to have an auctioneer's license. If you're selling on eBay, even though it's the platform of eBay, you do have to have an auctioneer's license in the state of Ohio. In the state of Massachusetts, you have to go and check the regulations and see if they mandate those in your state. Like, for example, here in Massachusetts, the only thing they mandate that you have an auctioneer's license to do auctions online, estate sales, all those different types of sales. Mandating here in Massachusetts is if you're doing an online auction that's with an estate sale, antique sales, a antique mall or antique store, or anything that's of a vintage type material, or anything that you're doing within a public aspect of it, you do have to have you have to have an auctioneer's license. Some states it's so many hours, and you got to pass and take the test, and then pay the fees to get your license. And then, of course, every year you have to renew it, that kind of stuff. So check into your state mandates on what is the laws in your state on referencing to online auctions. Here in Massachusetts, they do not regulate online auctions other than antiques, estate sales, large household sales, and things like that. If you're running it personally, you have to have one of those. There's a list, but online is not one of them. So yeah, you got to check all that.
I've seen something. Somebody asked something about that include like YouTube auctions. I know they have been talking about figuring out some way to regulate all these YouTube and Facebook auctions for a while now, but I think it's so complicated for them to do that at this point. I'm sure they'll figure it out at some point. I mean, we put a man on the moon, so I'm sure they'll be able to figure out how to get their money and their dip their fingers into the YouTube and Facebook auctions. It's just a matter of time. But as of right now, there's no regulations from what I'm understanding.
And again, I'm going to answer this with Melissa. It determines by your state. For example, Ohio just passed laws, and if you look at Auction Professor, he does go through it and talk about it and all this stuff, goes through the state regulations. That is just Ohio. Every state is different, but you have to look up the laws for that state, because there are some people who are not doing auctions because their state mandates that you have to have an online auctioneer's license. So just check your state. Each state is different, but Ohio has passed it to where you have to have an auctioneer's license for any form of auctions online, whether it be eBay or any other way. That's every state's different, though. It's our auction style online. Yes, you can, but remember, check your state for regulations on how they mandate auctions online. Each state is different. So don't take it. Don't take it.
I know Peddling Profit said something up here in chat a little bit ago that we can't sell auction style online. It's been that way for years. If we did, he would lose his auction firm license.
Correct. I got into the Florida, and you have not only gone through. Wait, I got into that. in Florida, and you have to not only go through the course, but you also earn the law with the auction. Yeah, I thought I heard about Florida past that. So yes, that is true. You have to pass it, and you have to renew your license every year, every whatever, 2 years or whatever. Sherry, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. Morning, sir. How are you doing, young man? Don't forget the IRS has hard. Yes, and that's another thing. YouTube, PayPal, any form of payments that you get, they have to send it in and require you to make sure you do a 1099 or you file it on your taxes. So yeah.
Well, unless there's been an update, I'm going to have to ship, because I know that they just voted on or trying to put in the bill to shut the IRS down. They're going to abolish the way the IRS runs as we know it.
Really?
Yeah. Where they're actually, let me see if I can find, why is the IRS shutting down? Yeah, just type in IRS shutdown 2023. Yeah, you're not going to actually file and pay your taxes as you do now, which a lot of people are going to be like, hey, yay, that's great. Because of the cost of the hiring, the 80,000 IRS agents to do the audits is going to cost them a fortune. And it's not really going to prevail in the amount of money that they're going to recoup from it. So what was proposed is shutting down the IRS as we know it. And instead of individuals being taxed, everybody's going to be taxed equally on your purchase prices.
And what you said to look up?
Just do IRS shutdown 2023. Now there's a maintenance shutdown, but there's also
the minute I type it in, that's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah. Clawing back IRS funding, but it has to do with the funding.
Right.
And they're talking about just abolishing the IRS.
Now, Mom Knows Treasure says a lot of resellers are in Ohio and they are doing auctions on Whatnot and YouTube. That's what, go back and watch the video with the auction professor. He lives in Ohio and he was talking about having to do his auctioneer's license because even if you're doing Whatnot, YouTube, eBay, any platform, they have to have an auctioneer's license, and they just recently passed that law. So definitely check your state that you live in to make sure you're doing whatever needs to be done. I don't want to scare anyone, but the IRS was advertising that he, yes, they did. But check out that article. 1099 started in 06. Yes. Kim of mine, hello, good morning and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Hello, Christine. Hello, good morning and welcome. Let's see, the man that owns Forbes magazine when he was president wanted to do a 10% straight tax. Okay. I still don't understand how they can tax us on items we own. I think from what I understand with Ohio, if you've purchased it to resell, then if you're doing an auction, you have to have an auctioneer's license. If you're selling it and you purchased it or you had it in your own products, it was yours to own, then you're reselling it, then no, you don't. So
I just dropped the link to one of the articles about what they're talking about with abolishing the IRS. It's in a vote. So the actual 80,000 IRS agents that they're planning to hire is actually on a hold. They haven't hired them.
We warned others about this other than we wish them. Yeah. And you got to make sure you claim it. And I've been in business for myself since 2003 and 2004. And when I first started, the type of business I had, people paid cash, by check, by invoices. And when it came time to the end of the year, my 1099 was full of everything. My Schedule C was filled with everything I got, no matter how I got a payment. I claimed it all. You know, some people don't, but I did. Like I said, I don't want the I, the R, or the S come knocking at my door. That's just the way I think about it, you know. So you do what you got to do. But yeah, so I think we're going to go ahead and get ready to end the show. But if anybody would like to come on and promote your channel, you're more than welcome to. If you have any questions about eBay, make sure you ask. We're doing this every Tuesday and it's Q&A all about eBay. Don't forget this Thursday, every Thursday, we're doing Q&A all about Poshmark. Now, if you or anyone you know of does whatnot and is well experienced in whatnot, and we have people who have questions, please have them reach out to me, because I'd like to do a Wednesday, whatnot Wednesday. And if you know of anybody that's into and knows a lot about Etsy, we have a lot of people with questions, and I would love to do that on Friday. Q&A all about Etsy. I'm going to keep it open.
I have a ton of Etsy questions. Now, I sell on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at it.
Right.
And I've watched YouTube videos after YouTube videos on selling on Etsy. Totally different than selling on eBay. And after all the videos I watched, I still don't have any clear information, because I don't know if they're saying this to put out content because this person says this person says that totally contradicts it. Some are saying you want long titles, others are saying you want short titles. People are saying you got to do this in your description to hit SEO. Other people are saying you don't have to do that. So I'm just looking for somebody that has good positive experience on Etsy, and let me know what you're doing that works for you.
Craig, would you please have them reach out to me if you don't mind? And I would love to get them if they can on Fridays for the morning show, and we'll do that as all Q&A all about Etsy for Fridays. Please have them reach out to me. I have somebody who referred me to somebody, but I'm not feeling it when I'm watching their videos, and I'll say that just as I watch a lot of the videos, and it's like something's not right. So yeah. The Q&A are the great additions to you. Well, thank you very much. And I decided to do that. And I've been Tommy is one of the ones that really got me pushed on this, because he was one of those that was in the chat talking about where's somebody that does all about eBay. And then it's like, okay, then I hear people talking about Poshmark. It's like, you know what? This will be a great addition to the morning show on a regular basis, because again, we've always having new people coming in, always having new people who want to know about the basics. And so that's what it is. I know they work in the morning, just saying statistics sale. Just saying statistics sales. I'm not sure what that means. If that's what you're just saying. Hello, Amy. So yeah, if we can get somebody to come on a Friday, and we'd love to do it a morning, every Friday morning, let me know. Have them reach out to me. It'd be great to collaborate with them as well, and including the whatnot. I would like to do a Wednesday whatnot. Whatnot Wednesdays is what I would like to call it. Robbie gave it that name this past Friday. So let me know. All right. So I'm not seeing any other entries. I'm not seeing any other questions. So thank y'all very much for coming out. Don't forget that every Tuesday we're doing this Q&A all about eBay. Thursdays is Q&A all about Poshmark. And I'm trying to line up someone for Wednesday, Whatnot Wednesdays, and Fridays all about Etsy. So please make sure you reach out to me. It'd be great to do it. Cool. What do you want to do Fridays? Whatnot all Q&A all about Etsy. We're trying to do an Etsy Q&A on Fridays. And then I'm trying to do a Whatnot Wednesdays for anybody who wants to start asking questions. We've got a lot of people who want to know stuff and getting involved in it. What's up, Bearded
Poketuber?
That's new. Hello, good morning. Welcome.
I just want to say thank you to Peddling Profits. He's throwing a couple quick Etsy tips up there. That I'm going to definitely try that stuff that you're advising.
I'm subscribed to you, so it looks like you do a lot of Pokemon cards. That'll explain the title.
Good, because it's not where my mind went. No,
yeah, okay. Tommy, add a video you will ran up.
Yeah, he's talking about on Etsy, adding videos to your listings will help you ramp up. He said 2 to 3 items a day, listing keywords.
Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, I'd be glad to answer and get that lined up, because I'm looking at doing this every day with something different. But Mondays, I want to keep it strictly, chilling from the weekend, but also I want to keep it with StreamYard and YouTube. We've been doing very successful in the last 2 weeks with that, so I want to kind of keep that on Mondays. But everything else during the week is my goal.
So you're gonna get Nick Nimmin on your show?
I would love to, but he does that every Saturday. But again, I'm just the basics of what I'm learning and any updates and that kind of stuff. And I do refer a lot of the videos about him that he does. If I learn something on the weekend, then I'll bring it on. And I usually take it from the chats. on the weekends when I'm just going around different chats. So it seems to be working. Use all 13 keywords.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so with that being said, again, if y'all have any questions, write them down for next week and bring them on in. If you would like to come on after the show's over, you're more than welcome to. The link is at the top of the chat. And also, do not forget to make sure you reach out to someone and tell them Happy Valentine's Day. Treat them to lunch, dinner, whatever the case may be. That doesn't have to be somebody that you're in love with. It can be anybody.
And remind anybody that you think might have forgot it was Valentine's Day before they get in trouble.
Yeah. We don't want nobody in trouble, Tommy. So with that being said, thank y'all so much. Looking forward to the whatnot. Looking forward to an Etsy. If anybody knows anything, just reach out to me. But also don't forget Thursday is all about Poshmark. Also, don't forget Saturdays. I just started a new show co-hosting with the Hoosier Stacker with the Hoosier Stacker Bingo. If you like to collect and win free silver, come on over. We're doing it again, and season 3 has already started. So come and check us out and have fun with us. Hopefully everybody has a great day. Also be looking out. I am going to be filming today. I am cooking red beans and rice with fried red pepper and heart-shaped cornbread.
There
That's
you
my
go.
meal for today. So anywho, thank y'all very much for always coming out and showing your love and support. Don't forget to share this out. Also, please make sure you do hit that thumbs up. That does help. And if you have any questions, don't forget to go back and make a comment in the videos. You're more than welcome to do that as well. And don't forget to drop your links. I know Jennifer's been dropping links in the chat, so please make sure you check those links out. And like I say before I end each and every show, love always, love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day until we meet again. Later, peace out, and happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you.
Bye, y'all.
Come back now, you hear?